Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Today, I will be telling you a little bit more about the Crimea and the Crimean crisis. After 1917, Crimea became a sovereign state. That didn't last long because soon came along the Russian Civil War. During the Russian Civil War, Crimea became the stronghold for the Russian White Army. Then, in 1921, the Crimean Autonomous Soviet Socialist Republic became the main leading power until 1945. Then, in 1954, when it was controlled by Russia, it was given to Ukraine, probably as a peace offering gift for what all happened in World War II. The Crimea Peninsula is a landmass on the northern coast of the Black Sea. The Crimea has a population of 2.2844 million people. Their birth rate is 12.8 people per 1,000, and death rate is 153 people per 1,000. The Crimea is very important to Russia because it is home to their Black Sea fleet, as well as a warm weather naval base in Sevastopol, which gives it a vital strategic reach into the southern belly of Russia, as well as the Mediterranean. The peninsula of Crimea in southern Ukraine is at the center of what is being seen as the biggest crisis between Russia and the West since the Cold War. Now, the Crimean crisis is all about in 2014. Russians attacked Crimea. They took over major facilities and blockaded Ukrainian army units and warships. There were many reports of people reported many soldiers in green with the Russian insignia attacking Crimea. It became so bad that the Ukrainian president Viktor Yanukovych fled the capital of Kyiv. Troops loyal to Russia took over control of the region, and the pro-Russian parliament has voted to join the Russian Federation under an illegitimate vote. Russia has been the dominant power in Crimea for most of the past 200 years, since it conquered the region in 1783, but it was transferred by Moscow to Ukraine. Crimea is a very dangerous place because of Russia and Ukraine fighting to have custody over the nation. 2 weeks ago, on Thursday, armed men raised Russian flags over government buildings in Crimea, throwing the Black Sea province into the center of what became a deadly international dispute. But why does this matter? Because Russia's annexation of Crimea and possible future invasions into eastern Ukraine could reshape the geopolitical map of Europe. It can also end the cooperation between Moscow and the West. The energy map of Europe is being redrawn so that they depend less on Russian oil and gas. So if there is a war, Europe wouldn't have an energy crisis. The EU and UN do not support Russia's move to invade Crimea. The Crimean crisis could also affect Germany, specifically Berlin. Germany and Berlin currently have the cemented spot as the leadership role in Europe. That is because of Ukraine. Germany has always dealt with Europe's crises, so their willingness to cut back energy dependence on Russia will depend on how willing the rest of the EU are. And that is basically, in a nutshell, what the Crimean crisis and a little bit more about Crimea is. I hope you have a better understanding of what Crimea is. Thank you for listening.